Hey, what's going on, dudes and dudettes? This is Pip Surfer with another daily update for the Cowabunga system. Today's Thursday, October 23rd, 2008, and today we had more kind of sideways movement. We're seeing kind of a brief pause here in this big downtrend that the cable is seeing. We'll go ahead and take a look at those charts, but the first thing I want to do is go ahead and take a look at some of your comments from yesterday's post. We had a few, so I'm glad that glad you guys are keeping in touch with me. It's always good to see that people are benefiting or at least paying attention to what you're saying. So I appreciate all your comments, good or bad. Mostly good, so that's helpful. But let's see, DZ. Why do you not trade on Fridays? Thanks for all your help. And I read this actually earlier, and there's a kind of response by Conan down here. Since Fridays are when the market begins to shift for the following week. It's not very predictable, so most people just avoid them altogether. I do kind of avoid them. That's a big reason why. You can trade on Fridays. Sometimes you'll get really good movement. A lot of times it's just kind of the thing where you're up for the week, and you could take a 3-day weekend, and that's more of the reason why I sometimes don't post on Fridays. It's just because I just don't feel like trading sometimes on Fridays. I wish there was a more scientific answer for that, but other than the fact that they can be unpredictable, I just don't feel like trading on Fridays is the simple answer. But the system, I've tested it trading on Fridays, and it should work fine. Again, Fridays are usually just a day to relax for me or catch up on errands and whatnot. So, that's pretty much the answer for that. I wish I could have given you something more specific, but anyways, let's see. Let's see, the next one. Who sent you an email 9 minutes into the video? That's funny. I don't even know who sent me an email. I notice that thing pops up sometimes, and I always forget to shut my email off before I do the video. So this time today I have shut down my email, so none of those should pop up. But thanks for noticing that. I'm glad you were paying attention. Let's see, Johnny. A lot of Johns. Hi, you guys are the nicest guys in Forex for sure. I would like some clarification on one issue. I see that sometimes your risk-reward ratios are not in keeping with the adage of at least 1 to 2 risk to reward. And this is a great question, Johnny. I don't really even need to read the rest because I know where you're getting at. But I've answered it a few times because it is, a good question to ask. The reason being is that because you don't necessarily have to have a better risk to reward ratio or reward to risk ratio. The thing that you want to pay attention to, and the reason why we note it, is because if you have a reward to risk ratio less than 1, then you have to make sure that your system wins it has to win over 50% of the time for you to be profitable in the long run. Vice versa, if you are trading with something above 1 on a reward to risk ratio, then your system can have a little leeway, and it can lose less than 50%, provided that you have enough reward to risk ratio. So in this case of the Cowabunga system, we win about 60% of the time. So yeah, I can trade with lower reward to risk ratios just because of that fact that we win a higher percentage of trades than we lose, and that's why I can trade those and still be profitable at the end in the long run. So hope that kind of clears things up. Again, a good question, important to ask, and I'll answer it every time I see it because you might not have heard that before, and it's something you need to hear. So thanks for that question. And finally, Pip Surfer, thanks for all the videos and learned a great deal from them. However, I'm not able to get the entry right. Most of the time I see that I'm 50 to 80 pips away from the crossover. Is there any specific strategy for the entry in the system? Well, I'm not sure if you have clicked on this link right here or right here where it says read this first, but that will go over the details of the entry of this system. Now, if you have read that and you're still having problems, I'm not sure why you would be getting something different unless your feed is totally different than mine. But with XTick, you should be getting relatively close. Not sure what you're using. Try asking in the forums. Again, if I can't answer it, somebody might be able to help you in the Cowabunga forums. So I'm sorry I can't give you a better answer than that. But again, thanks for the comments, guys. Appreciate everything. And while I'm here, I might as well look at the news for the day. You can go to babypips.com, click on this tools tab, and it'll bring up the news for the day. And we're looking for sterling or dollar news. And here at 4:30 we have retail sales for the sterling, and at 8:30 we have unemployment claims for the dollar. So 4:30 and 8:30 were the two time areas that I wanted to watch out for. Now I have my chart open. We can go to the 4-hour chart and look at our trend. Again, we have this major downtrend right here. That's evident by this trend change candle back on the 20th. And if we look at today's action, you can see that we had no new trend change candles and the trend remained down. So today we only look for short trades. Now I can easily go to my 15-minute chart and just move this back to 11:45 p.m. just before midnight when I'm about to trade. We already looked at our news. 4:30 and 8:30 a.m. Eastern time is what we're watching out for. And now I can just begin moving forward with my day. Remember, we're looking for short trades. So I'm looking for a crossover. That's going to be my alert. And during the times that the price is moving, you can, if you're watching your chart, you can see if there's going to be a crossover or not. And here you could see that we had a crossover at 5:15. So after our 4:30 news, let's see if the indicators line up. RSI is below 50, stochastic trending down. MACD, I have to zoom up for this one, but if you notice, MACD was actually already negative. If I move a candle back one, you'll see that it had moved negative there, and when we go to our signal, it's already negative. So this cancels out the signal. If it had been on the last candle, then we would have been able to enter, but because MACD was already negative, we cancel out the signal and we don't enter. So no entry for me. Maybe you might have entered thinking, if your indicators were different. In this case, it would have been a winner just by eyeballing it, but fortunately I missed out on that, so kind of a bummer for me. And you can see that the price moved quite nicely down there. So let me just move back. This is the 8:15 candle. This is 8:30, so this is the unemployment claims candle. So we're seeing some good movement there. And now, we're seeing a downtrend. There's a retracement, and right here we have a crossover. This is a 12 p.m. candle. So at this point right here, I'm already done trading, so I'm not even looking for signals. So this candle right here, even though it's a valid signal, I don't take because it's out of my time zone that I trade. So again, for me today, pretty boring day, no trades. You might have had a trade, and I don't like sitting on the sidelines, but I did have a nice day yesterday, and it's okay to take a day off today, so I'm not too worried about it. But if you have any questions, again, feel free to post on the blogs, ask in the forums. You are surrounded by a community of traders, so take advantage of it. Trading does not have to be an individual sport. It can be a team thing. So let's get together, ask your questions, ask your comments, and I will try to answer them as best as possible. So have a great day, and I will see you all on the next update. Cowabunga, dudes.